Go. Well, greetings to you. I'm here with Guy Barr, and he's doing a series called Raising a Bar. I wanted to be a part of it. He asked me to, and I'm glad to be with you. So I'm going to share a few things with you from the Word of the Lord, and primarily it's from the concept of the encounters of God. I'm going to take you through a number of encounters that I've had with the Lord through the years, and I'll do about 4 or 5 of these for you, show you what God is doing and how He performs in signs, wonders, and miracles in some areas today, differently than you might hear with other people. Mine started years ago when I got born again. I was walking the streets of Downey, California. I was dating a young lady that evening on a Friday night, and her parents wanted to meet me and told me after I had spent the evening with her, they'd like to meet me. So I was going to go back to their house, but that night we just kind of walked the sidewalk before we went to their home. And a car drove up, and the girl that I was dating, she knew them. She walked over to them, and I just stood there on the sidewalk while she was talking to them. Then I took a little walk down the sidewalk a little bit, and the presence of God came on me. I was 20 years of age at that time, my first encounter with God. I was 28, and at that point, 20 years of age. Now I'm 66 now, so that was a long time ago, but that's my first encounter, because when I was walking the sidewalk, the presence of God came upon me. I hit my knees and I began to cry. I never experienced God, wasn't seeking God, wasn't hungry for God, wasn't talking about God, and I didn't know a thing about Him. But when His presence came upon me, however reason I knew it was God, I do not know, but I knew that was God. I fell on my knees, I began to cry, and I heard an audible voice said, "Stand up on your feet. I'm going to show you what I've called you to do." And that began the calling of God in my life. And my first miracle was my own conversion. And it came not in a meeting where I went to the altar and prayed. It came with an encounter. And from that day to now, most of my life with God has been from one encounter to another, to another, to another. And that encounter led me to the next encounter, and to the next, where I began to see signs and wonders and miracles and things happen I had never seen in my entire life. I'll share a few of those with you off the cuff so you can understand them, what they are about, how God does it. So let me take you to another one. Another one of the miracles that I came into contact with was I was 14 years of age, and I was playing football in high school. And I broke my ankle that day in practice. We were on defense, and one of the guys hit my inside of my right ankle, that bone that sticks out there. It hit that bone and clipped it with the cleats and broke it completely off. And when my leg broke, of course, I fall down on the ground. I can't get up. I can't walk. The coach tells me, "Get up, you probably sprained your ankle. Walk it off." I tried to get up, couldn't do it. Well, when the coach came over and took my shoe off, then that bone fell down at the bottom of my foot, and I knew I was in bad shape at that time. They took me to Fort Smith, Arkansas. I was born in Arkansas. They took me to Fort Smith, Arkansas to a doctor. He examined it and said that the problem is going to be now that your leg will not grow from the knee down anymore, and I'm probably going to have problems with the growth, with the limping, with pain, with problems. That began to be one of my big issues I did. So from the time of 14 years of age to the time that I was 20, I said my leg did not grow anymore, and now I'm limping. I also, when I buy new clothes, when I went to California, I bought new clothes, and all of my pants had to be altered about an inch and a quarter because of the difference in the size. I began to have problem with my left leg because of the imbalance in my left leg. The ball of my left leg began to swell up and have pain, and so at that point I knew I needed to do something about my life. So I went to the doctor, had it checked, and when he came and looked at it, he said, "You will definitely have to have your shoe built up, and when that shoe is built up, it will level you out, level up your spine, level up your back, and at that point the pain will eventually leave your left leg and you'll begin to walk good again." I did not want to do that. I had no desire to do that. So what I did is that I didn't know what I could do about the situation other than have a built-up shoe, but I happened to go to a meeting that the pastor invited me to go to. It's the first meeting I ever saw a miracle other than my conversion. So in that meeting, this man was beginning to pray. His name was Joe Jordan. Some of you may have heard from him. He's out in California, has a wonderful healing ministry, miracle meetings. And I would encourage you, if you ever get an opportunity, to go see him. Now, how old he is now, I don't know. I haven't kept up with him. And actually, that was 40 years ago. He may have already passed away. But anyway, Joe Jordan was his name, a great miracle healing. And I'm going to take the next segment And I'm going to share with you in that segment what he did, what he said, and what happened in my life that sent me on my track with the Lord Jesus Christ. So I'll come back to you in just a little bit on the next segment.